Okay, we are live, and I'm so excited that we are here, guys. It is October 3rd, and I just get so excited every Monday night. I'm like, okay, what am I going to say? I'm going to look so silly, but this is my team, and they don't care. But I honestly feel so good about today's call. I feel so enthusiastic, and this is so on point. You guys don't even know the amount of value that you're about to get from these 5 spectacular coaches on our team. Now, let me introduce what tonight is going to look like. If you are not familiar with how our meeting schedule is set up, let me tell you. Let me show you how organized we are. This is a backwards schedule. Just to add confusion, because whatever, I can't control that. So, this is the first Monday of the month, guys. Welcome to October. Are you guys, is it chilly where you are? It's like 90 degrees in Florida. It's not chilly yet. Has anyone had like pumpkin spice, anything? Comment in the chat box that you've had something pumpkin spice, even if it's not on the 21-day fix plan. I don't care. Just tell me, because that's exciting. So I'm excited for fall. This month actually is my 9-year anniversary, and next month in November is my 31 years young birthday. There's a lot of exciting things. And then in December is Christmas, and it's also when my baby turns 2. So I am just overwhelmed with joy for these next couple of months, especially since it's the end of this year, which means that a lot of the hard work that we've been having from January 1st, 2016 to December 31st, 2016, that is a tremendous bookmark. The beginning and the end of a year is a tremendous bookmark. We have 1 more quarter. We have 3 more months, Moxie, 12 more weeks, 12 more weeks to seal the deal on so many of our spectacular business goals. Now, I hope that you are continuing to work on your own fitness. I hope that you're continuing to work on being healthy from the inside out, because I ain't got no time for somebody who doesn't take care of themselves. I love you, girl, but you have got to take care of yourself. You realize how important that is, right? So this schedule here is an attempt to help you prioritize taking care of yourself, because the first Monday of every month we meet here. We have a powwow together as a team. You see below that we have 5 amazing coaches who are about to shed light on so many different areas. The second week of every month, that's next week, next Monday, we are going to meet again at 9 o'clock, but that meeting will be specifically, the topic is Coach Opportunity Webinar. So that's when I'm going to get on just like this, have a PowerPoint, and talk about what is coaching, what do coaches do, why do we do it, how do we make money, why should people do it. So if you have people interested in joining as a coach, then you invite them to that webinar with us. It's like an open public webinar for you to invite people who are interested in coaching if they want to know more about it. So that's every second Monday. Every third Monday, we host a webinar around a fitness and health tip. Last month, it was about 14 reasons why you're tired. The month before that was 7 nutrition secrets. The month before that, I don't remember because my memory is not that strong. So the third Monday of every month, we host some type of fitness tip webinar. And that's helpful for you, because this is a health and fitness business and we want you to be healthy, but it's also for anyone. It's open for you to invite your friends, your contacts, your buddies, your neighbors, your dentist, whoever. So the middle to the second and third Moxie Mondays are public, and you guys can invite people to it depending on what they want. Got it? Capiche? And the fourth Monday of every month is when we have a top coach leader call. It's typically, an elite coach, 15-star diamond coach, somebody who is in the Million Club. I mean, really, really prestigious value there, that we're able to get that kind of top coach attention to pour into our team. Spectacular. And if there just so happens to be a 5th Monday of the month, which in October we host an open Q&A. But did you know that the 5th Monday of this month is actually Halloween? So let's go ahead and say we're not going to have a meeting then, because we're all going to be trick-or-treating and eating candy. Or not. We're going to be eating Shakeology s'mores while trick-or-treating with our kids. So that's kind of the flow of October, and that's how I really hope that you are served, and that we provide you good motivation and content and resources to help you grow as a person and then to grow your business. This month, actually this is October now. So last month we had a spectacular time at something called the Top 12 Retreat. And this Top 12 Retreat was specifically for coaches who earned the top 12 spots in our entire organization. In all of Moxie, we've been around for 3.5 years, and there were 12 coaches who made it the cream of the crop. 6 of those top coaches were able to come because of life, schedules, whatever. Half of the girls weren't able to come. Unfortunately, we missed them terribly. But that also opened the door for 6 new people to come. So as you guys saw in Moxie, we've posted about, you know, People's Choice Award. We had honorary guests, etc. Well, tonight, 5 of them have carved out their evening because they think that this is important and they value you and they want to serve you. They have carved out their brain and their time to answer some questions for us. Are you down? Are you down? Post chat in the chat box, because I see the chat box is slow and I need some energy here. Okay, if you are on, chat in the chat box. Give me a hey, give me a what's up. I need to hear you. I'm not going to continue until I hear one person. I see Courtney. Congrats, girl. Thanks. Married 9 years. Woo. Let me see some chat. Let me see some chatting. So I see that you guys are chatty Cathy friendly people. I mean, you're friendly. I'm not afraid of awkward silence. Hey. Thanks. All right, that's what I needed. That is the affirmation that I needed, that you guys can actually hear me. So what I'm doing now is stalling because I'm scrolling up to the questions because I don't want to mess them up. Here we go. Here we go. Question number 1. This is the order we're going to go in, guys. Okay, so one at a time. These coaches who were on the call, they all attended the Top 12 Retreat. We had a blast. It was a blast. It was a blast. It was, for me, it was a huge catalyst and for me becoming a better leader, for me making sure that my priorities are aligned, for me confirming who I am as a person, as a coach, my style, my personality, my vibe. It just kind of locked all that down like a vault of, I'm really kind of happy who I am. And I know that these girls took away so many amazing things because we talked about it constantly. So we're going to go in order. Christine, if you don't mind unmuting yourself, I'm going to go ahead and ask the question and we'll go down in line. Question number 1 that Moxie wants to know. What was your favorite guest speaker? We had a lot of them. And your aha from that guest speaker.
Okay, so can you hear me? Okay, so my favorite, well, I like them all, but I guess my favorite 2 were Lindsay Matway. And the reason why I liked her so much, I think, was because when she did her why message, which she wrote 6 years ago, I think that kind of made her seem more like us, like anybody can start where she started it from. So I think when you heard that message, it kind of made it like a real, like you could reach that top. But I also like the fact that she talked about like watering the seeds. So how I took that was what she was saying is that like you just don't want to focus on one particular group of people or maybe people that you're like familiar with, but basically watering the seeds. So like spread it out, focus on different people, go outside the boundaries, plant seeds all over and water all over, and don't just focus on one group. Does that kind of make sense? Can you hear me? Everybody's frozen.
Yes.
Does that make sense?
Makes a lot of sense. And we talk about planting seeds all the time. Wunderbar. Yeah. Perfect.
So all that.
Right, oh, sorry. What were we saying?
Oh, I was just going to say the last one was like Craig, the corporate mentor for you. Mm-hmm. And when he was basically saying like, coaching is related to like riding a bike, like in being in a bike marathon. So like sometimes you lead, sometimes you kind of drift in the pack. And so that for me played really high value this last week because somebody passed away in our family. And then my mom who helps like during the way in like daycare. The week was awful. So it just makes you like realize that like life's gonna happen, but as long as you're still continuing to pedal, you will eventually come back to the top of the lead. Like that's the other thing that I took from it.
I loved that. That's a huge takeaway that I had too. Thanks so much. That was so good points. Tons of points. Dawn, what about you? What was your favorite like aha moment from the guest speaker time that we had?
Okay, well, I also loved all of them. It was so neat to meet all of them and see that they really are real people, and that goes for you as well. But I think also mine was Lindsay Matway, and I took from hers the same things about plowing and planting, deciding what to plant. What do you put on social media? Are you planting seeds constantly, and are you always in the plant and plow stage? What kind of soil do I have? Do I have fertile soil, or do I have, the Bible talks about different kinds of soil too, but what is my soil? Am I constantly reaching out to the people who are kind of in the rocky area, and am I focusing on those people? Who do I want to surround myself with? Do I want to surround myself with people that are just like me? And do I want to, if I want to be the ideal coach, I need to surround myself with the ideal coaches and with the people that have a like mind and want to reach the same goals that I want to reach. And to post on social media the kind of things that I want to reach out to people with. Share the aha moments in life, share from my personal development. Whatever I'm reading or whatever I'm studying, if I put something on there every day, then that's going to reach somebody. And it may not necessarily have to do with a Beachbody challenge or a Beachbody post, but if that person is engaged, then they're engaged with me. And that's what it's all about. It's the relationships that you build. And when you build those relationships, then that's where you start growing your business. It's not, finding people that you think are going to be great coaches right away. It's building the relationships and starting from the bottom up and not being afraid to invite people that may not be your kind of person. They may be, somebody that you might not otherwise engage with. So that's that.
Great points. You love people without judgment.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
Perfect. All right, Erin, what about you, girl? What are some big aha moments or a moment that you took away?
Okay, one thing you guys have to understand about me is I didn't write down who said what, but I did remember I got stuff from each of them. So that's really hard to say because I feel like a lot of them gave some really good information. One of the things that I wrote down was that and I know Jessie mentioned this, if you guys watched her little video that she made, that it's the start that stops most people. I know that was definitely the whole thing for me. I mean, my little story is kind of that I watched Laura for 3.5 years do her thing on Facebook. And then I finally decided to, this is working for her. Why not try? And she kind of walked me through it. And there were so many moments in that I looked back, and you guys have only been doing this for not even but a month and a half now. But I look back at just those first few days, and I was like, okay, no, I'm not cut out for this. You kind of get down on yourself. My first live feed that I did, I just deleted one the other day because I wasn't proud of how it sounded, but yet I don't know that somebody could have gotten something out of that. Another thing that was meaningful to me is the stories of your coaches' families depend on my hard work. So if I'm not putting my 100% in, then I can't expect them to put 100% in, but if I'm not giving them all of the tools necessary to start this business or to be in this business or to run their own, however this may be, then I'm failing their families as well as my own. So I look at Laura as a prime example. I feel like I have a friend who joined on with Beachbody, and she doesn't really have a great coach that's not doing anything with her. And I'm like, oh my gosh, Laura hands us, so baby feeds us everything. And that's so awesome. So those were the two things that I took out of that. And then one more thing, and I'll just leave it with that. It's not about being fast in this business, but it's about being steadfast. So if I were to say those were the main things that I came out with, I have no idea, but I love them all.
That was awesome and so sweet of you. You're right. It's nobody's race. Like, you're competing against yourself. And I guess like it depends on if you're a competitive person, but you just have to think like bigger picture here. Everyone just has to like chill out and think bigger picture. If this takes you a week, a month, a year, 12 years, it doesn't matter, because there's a bigger picture and a bigger life-changing thing that you're doing that nothing else would give you the opportunity to do. So totally spot on. All right, Julia girl, we want to hear from you.
Can you hear me? Yeah, you can hear me? Okay, cool. All right. Well, I honestly, when I showed up, I had no idea who any of the speakers were. I'm human. I didn't know. I'm pretty new at this. But so they all had really good things to say. I think I had to ask in our little chat group who the girl with the really long curly hair was, because I couldn't even remember her name. But she resonated with me, just the way she talked to everyone. I'm not going to take specific things that they said, but it's, I want to say this, she was real, I guess. They were all very real, but I felt she was very raw with us, with how she talked to us. So the point of that would be, in this business, I'm going to kind of quote Dawn here on that, because it's what I had written down too. You're not just selling Shakeology and programs. Yes, you are selling them, but you're selling yourself. So if you're real and you're raw, then people are going to flock to you. One thing that my husband says, I always quote my husband because he's so awesome, but he says, you're either going to lighthouse or tugboat. And by that, he means what you resonate, the light that you put out, you can attract people to come to you, or you're going to be tugboating people. And there's going to be a lot of people that I have tugboated, you know, trying to get them to come to shore and join my team, or trying to get them to join my groups. And really, you can't keep tugboating everyone. So I loved how he said that, to just be the lighthouse and they will come to you. So with these top coaches, that's exactly what they do. You know, they're telling their story, they're being vulnerable, they're being real. And that's what's going to help anyone in their business, is just be yourself. Don't make it a competition. I don't want to be like Laura. I love you, Laura, but I want to be me, you know, and that, and that's what's going to make my business bloom, is because I'm going to be me. I'm going to be real. I'm going to be raw, and I'm going to attract people who want to work with me. And that's what you got to do, is you have to be you, and you have to do your best every time. That's about it. That's all I got.
So if you were a coach before me, I would want to sign up with you, because everything that comes out of your mouth, my heart flutters. What you just said there, you were either a lighthouse or a tugboat. My brain exploded.
That's my husband speaking. I just take what he says.
Well, then he made my brain explode. Thanks, girl. That was perfect. All right, Renee, I want to hear from you, lady friend. What was your good aha from the top 12 trip as we were going through the different sessions with the top speakers? Oh, you're muted. That's all right, girl. It happens.
There we go. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yay! Okay. Pretty much the same thing that everybody else was saying. Lindsay Matway was the one that really spoke to me, because the whole watering just a few seeds and not spreading it out, and not understanding that not everything's going to grow, especially in our time. It has to do with their time. I mean, I think about my coach, Erin, and how she wanted me to grow last year, and I just was not ready at all. So, you know, but now I'm growing now, and she had to continue with her business and all, and just kind of spread out the love and all. So that really spoke to me. But then the whole point of being vulnerable, because if you're vulnerable, you're going to attract the people that you're meant to be with, and because that will be your tribe. But the other thing is belief is contagious. That was, I wrote that actually in big letters on top of my notebook of belief is contagious, because when you really believe in something, other people are going to get excited about it. Still, it may not be exactly in the time that you expect, but they're still going to be excited about it at some point, because when you really believe in something, you can't help but be excited about it. So that was the big thing, but all of the speakers were great. I did love what Craig said about drafting and how sometimes you're in the lead and others are drafting off of you, and then other times you are the one that's drafting. And as long as we have the community and the support, then that's what we need, and we're going to continue to grow through it. So, but everybody was great, but I really did enjoy those two.
Great points. I'll have to share the slides that Lindsay Matway shared with us, talking about planting the seeds, watering the seeds, waiting for the seeds to grow, and then letting them be ripe. Because if you plant the seeds and then overwater them, or if you try to pull them out of the ground before they're ripe, you're not going to really produce good fruit. So it was a really powerful analogy. Awesome. All right, next round. Boom, 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 lightning round. We're ready? Question number 2 is, what is one thing you learned from this retreat that you didn't realize that you needed to learn? What is like a, oh, dang kind of moment of, I didn't know that, and good thing I did, because that changes everything. That's really dramatic, but it doesn't have to be that dramatic. All right, Christine, we want to hear from you. No pressure.
Okay, so basically what I took this question from is basically, I took it as like, what did I basically learn from this retreat? And I guess when we were kind of all sharing our stories of like the reason why are you a coach? And I think it came up every single day on the retreat. And I think for me, I didn't necessarily feel like my story was a big enough why. So I think what I learned ultimately was that no matter what, how dramatic or why you're here, or how tragic the story, or why you may be a coach, I think that I learned that my story is just me. So like, me being a coach is about helping people and fitness, and I enjoy incentives and rewards and community and friendship. And I learned that really ultimately that's okay to be like, basically going back to being real and being raw. Like, my challengers join me because obviously they see something in me, right, as a coach. And I think it's important to realize that it's so easy to get caught up in the business of seeing all these top coaches and wanting to be like them, and trying to almost change the way you are as a coach to kind of mock what they're doing. But it's important to come back to who you are and why you're here, and not try to be anybody else but yourself. So that's kind of what I learned, I think, from it.
I'm so glad, because that's a lesson that could take years to learn, Christine. The fact that you learned that in 72 hours is really incredible. All right, Dawn.
Okay, so what I learned is that, and I got this from our one-on-one, Laura, because you know, I've been in such a structured business world for 20 some years, and I have my own systems and my own way of doing things, and boy, my hair is wild. But I was trying to overcomplicate this, and trying to figure out how to not be so structured, and how to just go on the fly and post here and post there and post everywhere. And what I realized was that my style of organization is mine, and I've created it over 20 years of the life in the business world. And I did, you know, it's like you said, I was waiting for permission to be myself. I was waiting for permission to do this my way. And it's kind of like Christina said, that I was waiting, trying to follow the guidelines that I'd seen from other people. And, you know, I didn't have to do that. And so it was so freeing and so exciting for me to know that the things that I've put in place in my life over the last 20 some years, I can use those in my Beachbody coaching, and by trial and error, I can do whatever I need to do to make this mine, and I am my own CEO. And today was the first day that I've actually been home since the retreat. We got home last night, and so today was my first day as CEO of my own business, and it didn't go exactly like I planned schedule-wise, but I'm so excited that I'm making steps in the right direction.
Awesome. Congratulations, girl boss. All right, Erin.
Can you hear me? Okay, sorry. I was trying to do it on my computer, and I'm not on my computer. I'm on my phone. Okay, it's kind of going back to running the business and not jumping in and thinking you're going to have it all at one time. I kind of went on this retreat not knowing anything about the business. I was one of those that was brought in. I wasn't one of the 12. And so thank you for that, because I learned a lot from these girls who knew what they were doing. But I learned that you have to start somewhere, and start somewhere small and then build from there. And so I think that I kind of came in thinking I had to do it all at one time, not knowing what I was doing. So I'm sitting here listening to all these girls talk about the funnel system, and talk about challenge groups, and talk about your right leg and your left leg. Well, yeah, I got a right and a left leg, but what does that even mean? Like, any of this was. So it's a lot to learn. And it's like I tell people every single day, coaches that might be interested, if you're looking for something that you're going to make millions your first week or two in there, it's not going to happen. There's no business like that. And so having a community of people who are so supportive, what I learned the most and what I took from the most from this retreat is that we were all at different walks of life, all at different stages in our business, but everybody was so willing to answer whatever questions any of us had, no matter which one of us it was. So I learned that we can turn to each other as a community and reach out. We don't always have to go to Laura and send her a personal message and wait for her to respond because she's so busy, that we can go to each other, because we've all kind of been through different steps in this business.
You are so smart. I'm loving this, because you guys are like fully immersed, and the lessons that you learned in this weekend were like lessons that takes years for people to learn. So I'm really hoping that the coaches who are watching this live and the coaches who are going to watch this recording, they really soak this in, because this is tremendous, and you're hearing it from them, not me. All right, Julia, share your wisdom, or have your husband share his.
Can you hear me? Am I good? All right. Well, let's see. I learned so much. It's hard to pick just one thing you learn, but I guess the main thing for me, I'm kind of a lone wolf. I like to do my own thing. And even before you and I connected, Laura, I was trying to do my own fitness thing. Like, I did the Beachbody programs, and I already drank Shakeology, but I didn't have the support. So I'd fall off the wagon constantly. And then when I joined the group, I finally had a wolf pack, if you will, and I had a lot more success. And then when I became a coach, I kind of backed off, and you said, okay, you tell me when you're ready. And I was like, okay. So I saw these other two girls that signed up as a coach same day I did, and I saw you tagging them in things, and they were moving forward, and I was like, man, I can do this. So even then, behind the lines, I was finishing off my Coach Online Office, doing things on my own, and asking you little questions here and there, and you'd answer them. And you know, then the next step is to co-host a challenge group, and I didn't do that. I went straight into my own. So I'm very lone wolf. I can do this on my own, you know. And when you invited me to the retreat, I was like, holy crap. You know, when I first started talking to you, I was like, I can tell her my problems. I'm never going to meet her. Lo and behold, a couple months later, we met, and it was wonderful. And where was I going with that? When I wanted to go so bad, I had to sell things to afford the plane ticket to get there. But I said to myself, if I don't do this, that's going to be a regret that I'm going to have for the rest of my life. Not only that, but it's a chance for me to surround myself with like-minded individuals and kick off their knowledge, you know, and soak it all in, and to grow with that. And so the main thing that I learned from that retreat is definitely the community, the family. And it's so fun we have a coach chat that we have started from right before we went on the retreat to kind of get to know each other. And we all still chat in there. We all still connect in there and ask our questions in there and send GIFs in there. And it's so comforting knowing that I'm not alone, because for so long that's what I wanted. I wanted to do it on my own, and I have learned that doing it on my own I'm not going to make it on my own. I need help. I need support. I need the family, and that's what I mainly learned there. That everyone is so willing to help you with anything. They're always listening. They're always jumping in to answer questions. You guys, new coaches, you're on the most amazing team. Moxie is killer. All you got to do is ask questions and participate, and you are going to make it. That's all I got.
Boom. All right, Renee, you girl, what is something that you did not realize you needed to learn, but you did?
The biggest thing that I learned was the whole point of organization. I knew that it was important, but I didn't realize how important it was. And not so much like the funnel system and that type of stuff, because that had been drilled in several times, but the organization of having leisure time, having family time, and then having business time. Because too often I'm kind of like, okay, well, this person messaged me and I have to jump in and respond. And yes, that is important. But at the same time, if I'm having dinner with my family, that's not the time to do it. And that's one thing that I did pick up from all of the top coaches is the importance of family, the importance of having time and taking care of yourself. And having that organization and treating it truly like a business, and not just something that you do whenever. So the whole power pockets, power hour or power pockets, that's the biggest thing that I learned there that I didn't realize that I needed so much.
That's good, because everyone's busy, and it's like if you don't carve out intentional time to do the work, to do the 4 vital behaviors, to do your, this is what I thought. Oh, well, I can't show you now. I'm gonna show you anyways. Hold on. My BAT. Y'all see that? Boom. Okay, if you don't follow like a tracker, if you're not organized, then you're gonna feel frazzled. And it's not because you're not a good coach. It's not that you don't have what it takes. It's just that you haven't put yourself in an environment to let you thrive, right? Like if I shared this on a call right before this with some new coaches, we had a grand finale new coach training call, and I shared with them, if somebody says they want to go on a diet, they want to lose 15 pounds, and they start day 1, they're like, okay, let's see what happens. And then they haven't gone grocery shopping. They haven't filled their kitchen with healthy foods. They haven't surrounded themselves with like a plan, with discipline, with other people who are supporting them. Or if they walk into a donut shop and they're like, I can be strong, avoid temptation. What are they going to do? Likely they're going to flop. It's not because they didn't have it in them to follow the diet. It's just because they didn't put them in the proper situation to excel and to thrive. So they were sabotaging themselves by not being responsible. They were sabotaging their potential for succeeding in their diet because they were putting themselves in a situation that they were destined to fail because they weren't planning ahead, carving out time, being diligent and responsible with that goal they had. That's kind of a silly analogy, but it's the same. I see this as such a great responsibility that we have to be business owners and to have something that could potentially, impact a lot of people's lives. So great point, Renee. Last question, guys. I so appreciate, Moxie, you guys still being on the call. We're going to wrap it up after this with a little bow and some recap stuff. So if you've been hearing this and you're like, okay, but I wasn't on the top 12 trip, guys. Like, I wasn't on it. What now? Am I destined to fail? No, that is not the point of this call. Yes, we had our kumbaya moment. Yes, we were excited about the experience that we had, but there are so many more opportunities for you to connect with us and for you to be a part of our family. So we're not here telling you that, hey, we're excluded. We're telling you here, like, our arms are open, waiting for you guys to join this momentum, waiting for you guys to join this family, and waiting for you to realize that we want to help each other grow and to thrive. It's not just that the 12 people who were at this retreat are going to exceed and be at the top. There's nothing different. You can do this. You can do this. So the last day of the retreat, I challenged the girls to write a list of the things that, kind of like a brain dump, to just write down everything they thought. And then on a separate list, I asked them to write down something in their business that they have been procrastinating on, something that they feel like they should do that would make a really big difference. Whether it was, I mean, I can give you examples. I'm sure they're going to have far better examples. But for me, it was improving my challenge group template. I wanted to update some things. I wanted to kind of create a different flow. I wanted to implement sending thank you cards to my customers. And little things like that might, just a little bit of tweak on how I operate could have a really huge ripple effect. So I asked the girls to write down that thing, and that they should have either put a game plan together to have achieved it before they leave, or to achieve it right when they get home. So I'm putting you girls on the spot. Putting you girls on the spot in a good way. So Christine, what was that thing for you in your business, and have you done it?
So mine was organization. So basically organizing my notes, my quick replies, my cold call messaging. So I did organize that, but every day I'm adding to that. So, but, and then also how to connect, like every day to reach people, to share the journey. So originally I wanted to go live every day to connect. So I would say I'm probably 60% there. Like I said, last week was kind of busy, but I'm just trying to reach, like I want something that's steady so people can focus. They know every day, like I'm going to do a live video, or I'm going to post something. So I'm still working on that, like the content, but the organization is a lot better than what it was when I left.
Awesome. All right, Dawn, what about you? What was your thing, and have you done it?
Okay, well, my first thing was that I wanted to get my system going, and I sent you a picture of that earlier. I've started my tickler file, and if you want to know what that is, Google it. So I've got that going, and I'm working on that. Like I said, I just got home last night. So, but the other thing that I had a hard time with, and I put, when you asked us what do we avoid, I avoided adding people to my friends list, and I was trying to determine for them if they might be interested. And so I would look at them and kind of in my own mind think, well, they might not have the money, or, they may not want to work out, or I would find all the excuses that they might give me. And so I would hesitate to add them as a friend, to friend request them. And so I've been friend requesting right and left, and getting, getting people to respond. Even had a lady in a store ask me today about joining my next challenge group. So they're seeing what I'm posting, and it's just exciting. I'm not limiting myself by trying to read other people's minds. So that's it.
Hey, Erin, you want to go next? I don't know what happened to Laura.
Yes, I will go. Okay. So Laura, we had a long list of things to do. I learned on this retreat that one thing is, don't reinvent the wheel. And so that I took to heart, and I was like, okay, well, Laura's got all these great videos, but if I keep sending her YouTubes out to my coaches and you know, my challengers, they're seeing Laura's face and they're not seeing my face. So I thought it was really important to kind of watch a bunch of different coaches videos and come up with some basic videos of like about what is coaching, what are challenge groups, why I signed up to be a coach, for example, all of those things. I'm going to be 100% honest. I haven't gotten around to my YouTube yet. I have been working on a million other things, but one other thing we did talk about is the funnel system. And I felt like it was really important to actually start there because I don't really need to explain what coaching is to people if I don't even have challengers. So I think it's important to start with them because I think it's really hard to have somebody come in, and it can happen. I did it, be a coach without being a challenger first. But I do think it's really important that they understand the challenge group. So I have totally worked on my funnel system. I've got a great system down. My husband is awesome with Excel. So I kind of changed up the standard form that Laura sent out, and I use that now. I can color code it and know who I've contacted and know who's been challengers and who hasn't and all of that, and who said no and who has said yes. So anyway, that's what I've done. So I would say no, I have not gotten to my YouTube yet, but I have definitely got my funnel system. Can't say to a T, but really close.
Awesome. Can you guys hear me and see me now? Okay, earlier I froze up, so way to go. Way to keep going. All right, Julia, what about you? What was your thing and have you done it?
All right, can you hear me now? Verizon, can you hear me now? All right, let's see. My biggest struggle is was time management. So I work a wacky schedule for my current job, and it's day shift and night shift. And you know, I'm not going to tell you my whole schedule because that would take forever, but it's crazy. And I honestly, I work while I'm at work. On my breaks, I take those power pockets to the next level. I basically did power all day, Beachbody. And I had like zero time to spend with my husband or my dogs. He works a lot too, but when we're together, I wanted to be together. So we actually sat down together and discussed having time for just us and turn off the phone and unplug completely. And when the phone goes ding, don't pick it up. You know, you wait for it. I know when I first started, every time my phone goes ding, ding, I was like, oh my gosh, who's talking to me? Who wants to buy something? Who wants to sign up? And I was super excited about it. And I'm still super excited, but I also need that time to just breathe. And so that was very important to me. And I tend to multitask to the point of exhaustion. And I do that at work also. I'm kind of a workaholic. I just go, 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 go. And there's a book that I just finished reading. It's called The One Thing, and I highly recommend that for some personal development. The One Thing, repeat it again. And it was basically, it tells you to take that, you got your to-do list, right? So you knock off some stuff, you do the most important thing, and you give it all your focus, and you give it all your attention, and it's going to be done right. It's going to be done the best it can be, and then it's done. And then you move on to number 2. What's the second most important thing? So that book really taught me about that, and that's really helped with my time management because instead of doing 900 things, I'm really focusing on one thing, and I get it done a lot quicker than if I was trying to do a bunch of other things. So that's really helped my time management, and I've been working on a lot of different things, and in my new schedule that I've made for myself, first I focus on my faith. So I do my devotions, and I just got a journal in the mail the other day, and today was the first day I started journaling, Bible study, and yeah, crazy connection I had there today was fantastic. And then after I focus on my faith, then I focus on me. So then I do my workout. I drink my Shakeology because you are a product of the product. And then I work my funnel system. I do my posts. And then personal development for me happens all day throughout the whole day. So if I'm at work, and I'm crushing a set of rocks. I work for a mine. Sorry, if you didn't know that. If I'm crushing a set, or just doing something at work, I'll have my earbuds in and I'll be listening to personal development podcasts. Les Brown, there's a favorite for y'all. Look him up. And usually I read my books, listen to podcasts, and it's amazing what, I'm kind of going off topic here, but it's amazing what personal development can do for you. And if you do not do personal development, I highly recommend it, because it can change your mind. You can change your whole life, honestly, because you might be living in fear. Like, what if someone doesn't like my post, or what if they say no? Who cares? With that personal development, it really gives you the sense of I can, I will, I am, I can do this, I will do this, I am my best. And it's going to give you that extra courage to really to do every task to your best ability every day, because you believe you can. I kind of went off topic, sorry, Laura, but yeah, time management was my struggle, and I got it down.
I could listen to you all day. I'm like, yeah, girl, you're my Les Browns. All right, Renee, what about you?
A big thing that I was struggling with was personal invites. I would throw up a group like on my page, and here's a challenge group. Don't you want to join me? And expect everybody to come to me. And then while we were down there, that was like the top of the list was, personal invites that I was struggling with. I have started implementing doing a lot more personal invites, whether for challenge groups or for coaching, because it kind of hit me that I would rather have somebody personally invite me to a birthday party or to a wedding, and not just say, hey, this is going on, so you come if you want to. I'd rather have that personal invitation, because it makes me feel like the person that is involved is actually wanting me, not just whoever shows up. So that was a huge thing for me that I needed to work on, and I have been doing better with that. One of the other things was the getting a team name. Even though I don't have tons of coaches right now, I wanted to come up with a team name. And as y'all know, that we're on the retreat, I did come up with that team name. So that has been crossed off, but there's still a lot of things, the YouTube. I have not started on that either. But just working on getting coach training that I can do personally. But I am so very thankful for you, Laura, that you allow us to put our coaches in with you, because I've learned so much from you. And I know that, as I think Aaron was mentioning, as far as not reinventing the wheel, I know that you have it down, and that's been working out great for so many people. And so eventually I will branch out, but right now I'm working on it and refining it and getting as many tips from you as possible. But like I said, the biggest thing was personal invites. I have, I think, 900 friends on my Facebook because of working with hockey and, just tons of stuff that's been around here. So know, and I need to start reaching out to those people individually, and not just putting it out there and saying, hey, go ahead and come, and that was the big thing.
I don't know if I've ever heard of it like that. Oh my gosh, that was like a good nugget. If somebody is having like for me, my small group, it's always like a given of everyone's always invited. But if somebody's having like a dinner party, and it's just like, well, you know that you're invited. Why don't you just come over? And you're like, I'm not sure to show up at your house. Like, you have to personally invite me. So that's a huge point that people see it and they're like, oh, that looks really fun. Or I would love to go to that wedding, but maybe that's just not for me. Maybe that's for a different group of people. So that's like the awkward moment where you're telling people, yeah, girl, of course you're invited. Why wouldn't you think you're invited? It's like going the extra mile to invite somebody is not icky. That's letting them know that you care, and that if you throw out only public invitations and expect people to flood to you. That's not going to happen. You're not going to have people show up at your wedding if you just post it on Facebook one time. You have to go out and be like, I want you there, and you there, and you there. Perfect. So to wrap this all up, I hope you guys took notes. I know this was lengthier than our normal Moxie Monday, so I appreciate you guys still being on. Again, send this call to your teams because I feel like they can have this playing in the background as personal development as they're going through a power hour or as they're going driving, whatever it is. But people need to hear this message. People need to hear what Moxie has to say, and more than just what comes out of my mouth. Renee did allude to the fact that Moxie has an ongoing schedule, and so as a reminder, the third Monday of every month, I do host a team-wide new coach training. It's a 15-day new coach training course. This month, it's on October 17th, and it's a different format. It's still 15 days, but it's going to be called the First 30, and it's walking through exactly what a new coach needs to do, or what you need to teach your new coach to do within the first 30 minutes, within the first 30 hours, and within the first 30 days. Those 3 things will be tremendous for new coaches to get started. So if that's something that you feel like your team needs to get a hold of, if that's something that you know that when you're inviting people to join your team, that's going to be helpful for them, go ahead and put in your brain, October 17th is when that new coach training is starting. I'm going to share my screen really quick to end the meeting because I do want to share with you guys something that could get you excited. We've been talking about this retreat not for the sake of being like, nah, boo-boo, you didn't come. That was never my intention. But it was very impactful. And I feel like it wasn't a coincidence because when you're fully immersed at an event like this weekend, you grow at an exponential rate. Like you grow 20 times more than you would just sitting behind your computer, letting it be on your own convenience or your own will to absorb certain knowledge. But we are hosting another event that I would love for you guys to put on your radar. And it's called Mermaid Camp. So this is something that the 3-star diamond and above coaches are, I think it's her elite and premier coaches. Brittany Leggett's elite and premier coaches are hosting a retreat in Safety Harbor, Florida, November 4th through 6th. And so this is a personal development weekend. And if you have not yet added yourself to this group, I will post the information in Moxie. But if this is a camp, a weekend that you would love to attend, then you can add yourself to this group page to get the information. The only qualifications is that you have to be a diamond coach by the time you get there. And that's it. It's going to be incredible. It's going to be an opportunity for us to learn and to grow and to connect with people, just like what you've seen us talk about this weekend. Like us talk about the Top 12 Experience Mermaid Camp. It's another thing that's happening. And I know it's a travel thing. I know there's childcare concerns and there's money concerns, but put that on your radar. And if you really want to stretch yourself and grow yourself at an expedited rate, then do it. Because you can do this, okay? You have to be a diamond coach to attend Mermaid Camp, but it is so incredibly worth it. We're going to be surrounded by like-minded women who are strong, who are fearless, who really want to do big things with their life, and we want you there. So congratulations, Moxie. We have had an incredible ride in 2016 already. I know that the next 12 weeks are going to be incredible, and it's because of you, not because of necessarily what us 6 have done, not because of what the top 12 are doing, but it's as an entire team. It's our entire collective effort to make sure that we are being a part of the product, that we're communicating with new people, and that we're realizing that in order to build businesses, we have to build ourselves first. Okay, so that's what's going to get us through the rest of the year. Build yourself. Gain that confidence to realize how much value we have and how much responsibility we have to invite people to join our challenge groups, and how valuable it would be if they joined our team as a coach, because Moxie has it going on. Little things like that. You just guys have to get your mind around it. All right? Capiche? So if you have any questions about what's going on, some housekeeping details, logistics about Beachbody-ness, check out Moxie. But for the warm, fluffy, fuzzy feelings like hardcore, tough love that you need to make sure we're a family, Moxie Mondays are here every single Monday waiting on you. All right? So I'm so proud of you guys for showing up. Make sure you share this recording with your teams. You guys have been awesome. Thank you so much. Have a wonderful night.